which I will play on the ukulele, which is 11th century English, and the kazoo, which is 9th century
Dutch, wasn't it?
Flanders. Flemish, just because I like to say Flemish. So those of you who recognize this, this is a filk. It's to an Arlo Guthrie song. Many apologies to Arlo Guthrie.
You do filk?
This is occasionally on
Been known to do it though.
this song, and by the way, I only started playing the ukulele like a week ago, so it should be self-evident. Yeah, for sure. This song is about Brunhilda and the Viking Hall. But the name of the Viking Hall was never Brunhilda's Viking Hall. That was always just the name of this song. I guess that's why I still call this song Brunhilda's Viking Hall. Yeah. You can get anything at all, Brunhilda's Viking Hall. You can get anything at all in Brunhilda's Viking Hall. I'm riding it's across the sea, yeah, Greenland's waiting there for you and me. You can get anything at all in Brunhilda's Viking Hall. Yeah, for sure. This all started a couple of years back at the old thing, when my Jarl walked up to me and my good buddies, Gunther and Svenbjorn. He said that we would have to go to Greenland. So we got in our longboat with our axes, spears, and other implements of destruction, and we sailed off to Greenland. You ever notice they call it Greenland? Whole damn place is white. Can't call it Whiteland. That sounds racist. Anyway, when we got to Greenland, we went and visited my good friend Brunhilda, who lived in the Viking Hall. We couldn't help but notice when we got there that there was a really bad smell. And we asked Brunhilda about it, and she said that she had a batch of lutefisk that had gone verse. Well, we didn't understand what she said. We said, Brunhilda, don't you mean a batch of lutefisk that had gone bad? And she said, no, lutefisk starts off bad. This lutefisk had gone verse. So, we figured it would be a charitable thing on our part to get rid of the lutefisk for her. So we loaded the lutefisk into our longboat with our axes, spears, and other implements of destruction. And we went out to the fishing grounds. There we dumped the lutefisk, went back, had a Thursday dinner that couldn't be beat, went to sleep, and didn't get up until the next morning. Then we got a visit from Jarl Ole. Jarl Ole knocked on the door, and he said, Kid, somebody dumped a half a ton of lutefisk in our fishing grounds, and all the herrings are dead. We want to know if you had any information about it. And I said, yeah, Jarl Ole, I cannot tell a lie. I saw some Spaniards dump that. And Jarl Ole told me that Spaniards don't eat lutefisk, and I said, yeah, Jarl Ole, that's why they was dumping lutefisk into the ocean. Anyway, he brought along with him 27 3-foot by 4-foot ruin stones with pictures and arrows on the back explaining what had happened. And after a while, we got down to the truth of the matter. And he said that me and my boys would have to show up the following morning at the proving grounds and prove ourselves. Well, we went back into Brunhilda. You remember Brunhilda? This song's supposed to be about Brunhilda. Anyway, we went back into Brunhilda. Had the Friday dinner that couldn't be beat, went back to bed and got up the next morning. Headed over to the proving grounds. On the way there, some strange, angry-looking woman with one eye came up to me and she said, are you ready to kill? And I said, yeah, I'm ready to kill. Kill? kill, 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 kill. And I was yelling, kill, kill, kill. And she was yelling, kill, kill, kill. And we were both yelling, kill, kill, kill. Till some guy I didn't even know came up and pinned a medal on my chest, said, you're our berserker. We went down to the proving grounds, and there was Jarloli, and he said, kid, do you know the rules to this here axe throwing contest? And I said, no, Jarloli, I don't know the rules to this here axe throwing contest. So he asked his skull to stand up. And the skull stood up and said, this here axe throwing contest got these little, you can throw the axe this way, throw the axe this way, don't throw the axe this way, and no magic axe, no, and he's yelled for about 10 minutes. Nobody understood the damn version he was saying. So we got to throwing the axes. It was a long contest, see, because Jarloli was a really good axe thrower. But me, I'm no slouch in that department. Several hours passed and nobody had won. Finally, Jarloli pulled back and threw an axe so hard it split the target in two. And he said to me, beat that. Well, I told him I thought he was cheating. I said he had the magic axe. No magic axes in the contest, I said. And he said, no, my axe is normal. And I said, no, your axe is magical. And he said, no, my axe is normal. And I said, no, your axe is magical. Finally, he handed me his axe. I hit him in the head with the axe, he fell down dead. I said, yeah, that was a normal axe. And I was declared the winner by default. Default being that Jarloli was dead. Well, me and my boys had a hard time fighting our way out of that one, I can tell you. We had to run back to our longboat. Gunther lost both perfectly good booger-picking fingers that day. Yeah, so we sail back. That's pretty much the end of my story. But I do have a moral. The moral is this. Don't go to Greenland. If Jarl walks up to you and says, go to Greenland, you look him straight in the eye and you say to him, you can get anything at all. Brunhilda's Viking Hall. You can get anything at all in Brunhilda's Viking Hall. Hop right in, it's across the sea. Greenland's waiting there for you and me. You can get anything at all in Brunhilda's Viking Hall. That's right. And if that don't work, you go find yourself a really big berserker. You walk up to your Jarl hand in hand, singing in harmony. Anything it takes to not go to Greenland. You walk right up, you look Jarloli in the eye, and you say, sing it all together now, folks. You can get anything at all in Brunhilda's Viking Hall. You can get anything at all in Brunhilda's Viking Hall. Hop right in, it's across the sea. Greenland's waiting there for you and me. You can get anything at all in Brunhilda's Viking Hall. Now the only problem I see is not everybody is singing. I'm not going to stop singing this song until everybody sings. Just in case you don't know the chorus and you don't feel comfortable, I've written it right here for everybody. Please hold up the chorus for me. Thank you. Or you might want to switch it. The other side. Yeah. Right, so that's it, yeah.
Sick bastard.
Everybody one more time. You can get anything at all in Brunhilda's Viking Hall. Except Brunhilda.